And go.
Welcome to the newly minted Michigan Wolverines Lacrosse Stadium as the sixth game of the women's lacrosse slate is underway here. My name is Alex Kramer, and I'm alongside Alex Drain, and we're already underway here. Stony Brook leads the Michigan Wolverines 5-2 with 13:15 left in the first half. Stony Brook got off to a slow start, trailing 2-1 just over 5 minutes gone by in this game, and Stony Brook has slowly climbed back to a dominating stance, leading 5-2. This is the number one team in the country Michigan's playing today, already beaten two top 25 teams. Michigan coming off two losses against top 10 teams to Towson and Navy, and losing to Towson by 7 last week. This is a very important game for the Wolverines to get back and try to contend against one of the top teams in the country. Stony Brook off a free position shot, pass it behind the cage, a quick dodge inside, and a quick goal there from Stony Brook, 6th of the game. And off these free position shots, we've seen Stony Brook take advantage of each and every one of them thus far.
And this is kind of feeling like a critical moment in the game because Michigan now has just allowed Stony Brook to control play here for the last several minutes, and they have got to find a way to stop the bleeding and let this game continue to flow back in their favor and not let it get out of hand.
And a timeout here. Looks like it's by the Wolverines. As nothing seems to be going right in the past 5 minutes for them. Stony Brook's taking a commanding 6-2 lead on them. And this is a Stony Brook team that's dominated its opponents, especially in the last couple weeks, beating Northwestern 15-10 a couple days ago, and beating Denver 16-3. Denver being the number 20 team in the country at the time. So this is a very good Stony Brook team, deserving of its number one rating. And Michigan's really struggled here. Their goalkeeper play from Shane really hasn't been up to par this far. 4 saves, but 6 goals allowed now. So Michigan's really struggled thus far. Defense allowing too many free position goals. And welcome to Michigan women's lacrosse game. The number one Stony Brook coming in to play the Michigan Wolverines. This is WCBN 88.3 FM Ann Arbor. My name is Alex Kramer, and I'm alongside Alex Drain, and we're here to bring you this women's lacrosse game today. The number one ranked Stony Brook coming in here today to face the 2-4 Michigan Wolverines. And with 13:05 left in the first half, coming out of a Michigan timeout, Stony Brook has dominated this game thus far, leading 6-2. What have you seen thus far, Alex?
Well, right off the bat, Stony Brook took the 1-0 lead, but then Michigan was able to kind of make some things happen and looked like they were capable of competing here for a little bit and took that 2-1 lead. But now all of a sudden, Stony Brook is just throttling the Wolverines the last couple of minutes. And so this is a moment in the game where it is extremely necessary to stem the tide and just change the way things are going. And it was good to get the players over in a little bit of a timeout to talk and sort of recalibrate strategy because it's needed right at the moment.
And a big point of emphasis for this Michigan team this year is doing a better job off the draw. And the Wolverines started hot, winning the first 2, but have slowly come back down to earth and are now losing 5-3 in that category. As it looks like Aaron Daly will step up to the X for the Wolverines. And refs looking at hand placement right now. And the whistle is blown. Ball goes into the air. And on the ground now, Stony Brook gains possession and will clear it into their offensive half. Pass right in front of the goal. Around that winged area now, Michigan will look to make a sub on defense. And it'll be number 10, Lily Grass, checking in for the attacking side. And Stony Brook just passing it methodically around the edge.
Continuing to control play.
With 12:37 left in this first half. Stony Brook has dominated time of possession thus far. Running a rep back around the cage. And looking to pass it up front, but can't. So it goes behind the cage again. Pass right in front of the middle. Shot and goal from Stony Brook. 7-2 now. A great find from behind the cage.
A terrific vision. And once again, just straight off the draw control, Stony Brook picks it right up, goes into the zone, and just really takes their time, sets up clean, crisp passes, finds the open lane, and boom, right into the net. So really more of the same.
100% right. A couple of great dodges there. And a great feed from behind the cage there. Great vision. And Stony Brook's won the last 3 draws now. So they're completely dominating possession here. And Michigan's going to change it up at the X now. Number 28, Mai Tar, will come into the game, the senior from Parkville, Maryland. And let's see if she can have a little more success than Daly had on the draws now. Allie Kennedy comes back up for Stony Brook. And her and Tar will face off. Whistle is blown, ball is up, and looks like Stony Brook had possession, but it comes out of her stick, and they're going to call a foul there on Stony Brook, so it'll be Michigan possession here.
This is an opportunity to get something moving.
And immediately, the ball hits the ground there. Michigan able to corral it. Something you never want to see right off of a face-off win. Michigan will pass it around the cage. Number 7, Chandler Kirby, the star of the Canisius game, will come in now. Pass it behind the cage. Pedino gets it on the right corner, passes it back to Kirby. Inside to Grass. Grass with a shot, but an easy corral there by Tesorillo. And another save for her. That's going to be her 3rd save of the game. And now the counterattack from Stony Brook. A quick dodge to the left, and now up to the middle. Wide open on the right side. They will not take a shot there, and they're going to call foul on Michigan. And that looks to be a free possession shot now for Stony Brook. Looks to be, even though it's a foul, might have been a little bit of a saving grace there from the Wolverines as they look to be a little bit deficient there on defense, and we're about to give up a wide open shot to Stony Brook.
Struggling in transition as Stony Brook led the attack the other way.
Quick pass going inside, and it's hit away by a Michigan defender, but he did make contact, and that's going to be another free possession shot now for Stony Brook. Had a lot of them today, and they've come up with good opportunities on every one of them. Have 4 goals off of them now. And let's see if they can do something with this one. This one's going to be right, just a little bit to the right in front of the goal. And the whistle's blown. Quick shot and a great save there by Shane. Number 33, Maria Shane, getting the start today. A fantastic save by her. It's going to be her 5th save of the game. And Michigan will clear it. A successful clear there from number 19, Quid Meladonia. And now Caitlin Murray will take it and pass it to Lily Grass behind the cage. She's going to run to her right. Pass it to Pedino. Up top to number 15, Aaron Daly. And then to number 34, Grace Hemmer. Hemmer to her right to Kirby. Pass it to Pedino behind the cage. It's going to be Grass, looking for a pass inside. Cannot get one. Tried quick 2 dodges there, but passes to Daly up front. Wolverines looking a little disjointed on offense right now, as Stony Brook doing a great job keeping their sticks up and denying passing lanes now. Kirby will get on the right-hand side. Quick dodge to her right, pass behind the cage. Grass working on the defender. Looking for a pass inside. A dangerous pass in there to Meladonia, and that's going to put the ball on the ground. The Wolverines haven't come up with it yet. It's still on the ground. And the Wolverines do get it as Meladonia picks it up and takes a shot. And a save there from Tesorillo. And it's going to be a foul on Michigan, and it's going to be Stony Brook ball after one of the Stony Brook defenders took a hard hit and fell to the ground.
And that felt like a missed opportunity with possession in the offensive end, and just a little bit too methodical, sloppy at times. Just not the crisp precision we're seeing from Stony Brook on the other end.
This is a very young Michigan team, only in their 5th season ever at the university. First year head coach Hannah Nielsen, one of the most well-acclaimed women's lacrosse players of all time, from her time at Northwestern, 2-time Tewaaraton winner. She definitely has a pedigree to succeed here, and we're going to get another timeout. So like this one might be from Stony Brook. And that last hit there from the Wolverines will result in a 2-minute penalty for Daly. So Stony Brook will be man up here, and Seawolves have been great on the year in man up opportunities. We've seen a very clean game from Stony Brook thus far, only 1 turnover, Both teams are 100% clearing the ball, so very efficient getting the ball down, something the men's team has struggled with this year, but the women's team doing a great job today. But Stony Brook's offense has just been dominating Michigan thus far. Shots are 14-6 in the Seawolves' favor. Michigan does have 5 saves, but has given up 7 goals thus far with 9:46 left in the first half.
Michigan just seems a bit overwhelmed on the defensive end. Stony Brook with a very quick pace of play and finding the open passing lanes. It's almost just going easily around the Michigan defense, and a lot more skill seemed to be involved on that end. An impressive showing so far from the Seawolves.
And as we've said before, this is the number 1 team in the country, so they do come with that pedigree that will be expected from it. The reigning American East champions, Joe Spallana, in his 7th season with Stony Brook, done a fantastic job of getting this program up to snuff thus far. This fantastic team. 7 players were named to the Inside Lacrosse preseason Division I All-American team, headlined by Courtney Murphy, who has 16 goals on the year. Actually, 17, excuse me. She has one today. Along with the Olmeyer sisters, Kylie and Tyron, both great attackers in their own right. Number 21 and 17 for the Seawolves. And then they also have Brook Gibatosi, who will play defense for the Seawolves. And this is a very deep team for Stony Brook with a lot of top-end talent, and they're deserving of this number 1 ranking.
And it's almost an unprecedented height in Stony Brook history. It's the first time in program history that Stony Brook women's lacrosse has been ranked number 1 nationally in all 3 major polls. So they're at a peak at the current moment, looking to keep it going as they get into conference play in the month of March and into April. Their first conference game coming on the 24th against UMass Lowell.
And now we're going to have a free position opportunity for the Seawolves off a foul there. So just explaining to everybody who's listening right now, in women's lacrosse, if you are hit within at any point in the offensive side, you are given a free position shot, which is going to be, there's a little bit of, it's almost like a 3-point arc right outside the cage there. And if you are hit in anywhere inside that, you're going to be given a free shot where you're going to go to the closest little point there, and you will be unguarded by a defender. Players will surround you on that arc, and you have a free position to go towards the goal and take a shot or pass or do anything you'd like there. So the Seawolves have been doing a great job today getting to that free position. And that's another shot there by Stony Brook. That's going to be their 16th on the day. That one is to the wide right of the cage. So not a shot on goal there. A quick pass inside for the Seawolves. Behind the back shot is going to be no good. And the Seawolves falling to the ground there. It's going to be a push. Looks like it's going to be number 33, number 34, Grace Hemmer getting a little bit of a push there off the back of Murphy. And that's going to get another free position shot for the Seawolves. This one a little bit to the left of the cage. And waiting for the whistle now. It's blown, pass back. And pass back to number 17 now of the Seawolves. That's going to be Kylie Olmer, one of the 3 top attackmen for this team. A push inside from the Michigan defense goes uncalled there. Quick dodge inside, and they lost the ball there. The Seawolves did.
Looks like got whacked.
Got whacked again. Lucky there wasn't a slash called on that play. But it's going to be another free position opportunity. I feel like I've said that 10 times on this possession, but this is going to be their 3rd one just on this side down the on the offensive half. 8:21 left in the first half now.
That's mostly been Michigan's main defensive tactic here over the last couple of minutes in their own defensive zone.
Waiting for the ref's whistle now. Run inside, and a great save right side from Shane, who immediately throws it away. And the ball's on the ground now, and the Seawolves will corral it. That's going to be number 25, Brook Gitopsi, the defender, doing a great job there. And now another attempt by the Wolverines to cause a turnover there. They're going to call a hit on that one as well. So that's going to be a foul as well on number 30, looks like number 39, Gabby Burns, the junior from Falston, Maryland. And she's going to go off the field as well. So Daly has 5 seconds left on her penalty, And number 39, Burns, has 2 minutes on hers. And Padino will trot on for Daly now as we get underway again. And Murphy will travel to the right of the cage being the goal. Going behind it now. Passing to the left side. Looking back towards the cage. Inside. And somehow Seawolves are able to retain possession there.
Ooh, what a find.
And a fantastic find there. Alex said it best. Right to the left of the cage. Passes it right inside, right over the crease, which is going to be the little circle right around the goal that you cannot step inside. And an easy put in there. It looked like she was almost swinging it like a bat in there and tapped it right inside to the goal. Shane had no shot there. That's going to make it 8-2 Seawolves lead.
Well, it was just an inability to really clear for the Wolverines to get it out of their own zone, just repeatedly pinned down. And it is a testament, though, to the Seawolves' ability for precise passing between the attackers. They are just not making a whole lot of mistakes, and it's tough for the Wolverines to cut off some of the passing angles when the passes are that precise.
And Kennedy has done a great job for the Seawolves today at the draw. She'll step back up to it. She's won 6 on her own today. And the Wolverines have struggled, only winning 4 thus far. Looks like it's going to be Molly Garrett this time stepping up. Sophomore from Florida. See if she can do a better job. 7:35 left in the first half. And it is up and out by the Seawolves. And a great check there by the Wolverines. Ball is on the ground. And the Wolverines come up with it. A shove there by the Seawolves is going to retain possession for the Wolverines. And Stony Brook does get it on the ground, but again, they're going to call a shove. So the Wolverines' possession here still have not successfully cleared it yet. Still going to have to get it into their offensive half. Padino really struggling to get by there, but another hit. 3rd one, just running down the half here, as Michigan has one unsuccessful clear thus far and looking to get it into this half. And that's going to be a foul on Seawolves. And the Wolverines struggling to get into their offensive half and just trying to get a possession here. Maggie Kane will trot on now for the Wolverines. The refs clearing it up with the Stony Brook defense. And it's going to be a foul on number 18. That's going to be Courtney Murphy. She's going to have to trot off for a little while. 7:04 left in the first half. Stony Brook dominating shots thus far, 19-11. Padino will start with the ball. Whistle is blown and is knocked straight out of the air. That pass is just knocked away from Padino, but she gets it back, is able to split 2 defenders, but falls, and that's going to be another trip there. Looks like Padino ran into the defenders, but unless they will get the call there, a lazy pass from Padino, and that's going to be Stony Brook ball. Just careless passing there, and Padino just trucks the defenders there, and that's going to be called every time. Lucky she didn't get a penalty there for unsportsmanlike conduct. But a great hit there to knock the ball loose, but can't do that in women's lacrosse. So 6:30 left, first half. Stony Brook has the ball now. Murphy chomping at the bit to try to get on this offensive possession. Seawolves passing around the arc. Methodical in their offense thus far. Looking for an open pass right in front of the crease. Have largely played above the cage thus far. Only 1 goal coming from a pass behind it, as Murphy will now trot on. Her penalty is over. Now they will go behind the cage. Will go immediately over, and Murphy loses it off the pass from behind the cage. A quick pass inside is lost by the Seawolves, and the Wolverines corral it. And immediately lose it on the ground. That's going to be Maddie Hadlin. That offensive, great job of stealing the ball, but loses it, but gets it back. And the Wolverines are going to try to clear it here. 7 of 9 thus far. And they do get a successful clear here.
Here's a big opportunity to try to get back into this game.
Quick run in transition. No good there, and immediately throw it away. Caitlin Murray running for it. 2 Wolverine defenders, and are able to get it. Murr loses it, though. Stony Brook doing a job stifling this Michigan offense, not even allowing shots at this point. Stony Brook, an easy job clearing it, running straight down, no one stopping them. And to the right side, straight inside, and that's going to be a push. But no, they're going to...
No call.
No call. Looks like she got hit there, but they're going to... It's a great save by Shane, her 7th of the day. Has allowed 8 goals, but that can be attributed at least slightly to the lackadaisical Michigan defense thus far. And the Seawolves allowing Michigan to clear this almost uncontested. Now they will run someone at Maggie Kane, and as soon as they run someone there, and it's going to be Murphy one-on-one with the goalkeeper here, and an easy shot there from Murphy, one of the best in the country, her 2nd goal of the day, and a great job by the defender there. Looked like it was Emma Schitt on the attack there, hitting the ball out of Kane's stick, running straight forward, finding Murphy right in front of the goal, and an easy job there with the one-on-one to score for Murphy.
Murphy just kind of slipped by the defense, and then just a perfect pass and right in, and then the ability to finish, get the goal, and now in a 9-2 game with 4:18 remaining here in the first, it doesn't look good for the Wolverines at this current moment.
No, it does not, with the Wolverines not having taken a shot in what seems like all 20 minutes of this half thus far. And every time it seems the Wolverines get a possession in the offensive zone, they aren't able to do anything and immediately turn the ball over. And the Seawolves are doing a great job in transition, finding open girls for easy shots and easy goals. 21-12 is now the shot count. 15 of those 21 shots have been on goal thus far. Walking up to the X now. Waiting for the ref to blow the whistle. They're going to call an infraction there on the Wolverines, and it's going to be Stony Brook ball now.
They just cannot control possession at all. Right off the draws, Stony Brook takes control and then unable to cut off any kind of rush or clear it out. It's just been very one-sided.
That's going to be 8-4 now on draw controls. Thus far, Murphy will right in front of the goal and passes it behind the cage. Eventually the ball makes it back to Murphy up top. Olimer on the right side. Right behind the cage now. Seawolves being very methodical in their offense, picking their spots. It seems like everybody's behind the cage at this point now. 45 seconds left on the shot clock. And it's going to be a foul there on Michigan. Ran through a screen a little bit too hard there. And Stony Brook ball. 39 seconds left on the shot clock. 3:19 left in the first half. 9-2, Stony Brook leads. Quick pass right over the top. And that's going to be an easy goal for Stony Brook. Their 10th of the game off their 23rd shot of the game. Just an easy find right there for Stony Brook. And you're not going to find better passing than what we've seen by Stony Brook thus far. Only 3 turnovers now from the team as a whole. Michigan has 10. A fantastic job keeping possession of the ball here, being methodical, picking their spots, finding easy passes right in front of the crease for easy goals. This is one of the best women's lacrosse teams in the country, and you're seeing almost an outpour of goals here now on the Wolverines.
Just in an offensive onslaught here for about the last 10-plus minutes. Precision and just excellence. Great passing just to set up the lanes. And it's converted itself into 10 goals so far.
Goal by Emma Schitt, her 5th of the season. The assist goes to Courtney Murphy, her 10th of the season. That's going to be Murphy's 4th point of the game. And Stony Brook wins the draw. Running it down, a great job by number 19, Quinn Miladonia, to stop the ball this time. And a quick shot there by Stony Brook is saved by the Wolverines. Good save there by Shane, her 8th of the game. And now the Wolverines will attempt to clear, something they've struggled to do today. 8 for 11 now. 2:48 left in the first half. And the Wolverines do successfully clear and look to attack now. Number 77, Madison Richmond, the defenseman, is now on the attack. After taking the ball up, she'll run back to her defensive spot. Lily Grass running it up, passes it behind the cage to Murr. Murr over to Chandler. Back to Padinho. Padinho setting up on the left side. Passes it to Chandler Kirby. 2:17 left in the half now. Kirby to the right to Daly. Daly behind the cage to Grass. Grass gets the pick from Murr. Running inside, pass to Padinho. On the inside, Padinho backs it out. We'll pass to Kirby on the right. Kirby with a quick dodge to her left. Won't take a shot to pass to Padinho. Padinho back to Kirby. And then to Daly. Daly getting big minutes for a freshman. And Murray uses a screen from Grass. Grass rolls off of it, but will not get a pass. Daly now inside to Padinho. Padinho with the shot and a fantastic save there by Tesario. That's going to be her 3rd of the day. And just a fantastic job there by the Wolverines getting a clean shot, but an even better job by Tesario of saving that.
Well, that sequence right there is indicative of that Stony Brook is not just good on the offensive end, also on the defensive end. They forced Michigan to really just stay outside and just have those passes back and forth, just trying to set something up. And eventually they did get a decent shot, but it was overall a really good job to keep Michigan away, not open up any kind of great passing or shooting lanes.
Really the only 3rd time of the game that Michigan has done an okay job of finding an open shot. That one was on goal, but not successful in finding the back of the net. And now the Seawolves will run inside. Another shot from Murphy there, but a great job by Richardson getting her stick on Murphy's stick. And the ball will go on the ground, and Michigan will retain it. 45 seconds left in the half now. Michigan attempting to clear this. It's number 25, Casey Kumo. Running around the Seawolves, pass it to Kirby. Kirby running inside now, 32 seconds left. Shot clock is off in this situation. Padinho has it on the left side. Kirby running to her right. Passes to number 21, Nadine Stewart.
Gotta hurry.
Behind the cage now, pass to Padinho. 9 seconds left. Padinho with a dodge to her right. Little dump inside to Stewart. Stewart with the shot and a great save there by Tesario, and that's going to end the half here. 10-2 Stony Brook leads, and a fantastic outpouring of goals and a fantastic outpouring of both offensive defense by the Stony Brook Seawolves, and this is the number 1 team in the country, and you're really seeing it today.
Well, overall, just a really, really well played sequence there from just about probably around the 15 or so minute mark on. Once Michigan got out to that little bit of an early lead, had a bit of momentum, and then Stony Brook just sunk their teeth in and put the stranglehold on this matchup and just dominating both ends. And I think it's most indicative of what we saw in the defensive ends, where Michigan was being stretched out and allowing Stony Brook to really just get inside, penetration right up to the net, and open up the passing lanes to set up really good looks in on net. Where on the other end, when Michigan was attacking, Stony Brook was crowding in front, shutting off all the passing lanes, not allowing any attackers really inside to set up any really good looks in on net. Just from about halfway through on, it was just total shutdown.
And this is a very good Stony Brook team, one that should be contending for a Final Four spot in Philadelphia this year. Really a three-man attack for Stony Brook. As we mentioned, Courtney Murphy has 24 points on the season thus far. A fantastic outpour of goals today. Already has 4 points. And then you have the Olimer sisters, Kylie and Turan, with 21 and 23 points respectively. And they have more than half of their combined points for the entire team. So this is a three-person effort from Stony Brook on offense, and they're doing a great job scoring it for them. All 3 are on the Tewaaraton semifinalist list. So this is a group of 3 that are very experienced. They all have over 100 points in their career thus far. Very good, and they're looking to put a beating on the Wolverines thus far. in a game where Michigan already has 3 times as many fouls as the Seawolves, 21-7. Yes, 21-7. That is almost insane. And as we've seen in the past, Padinho does like to put a beating on players, and we saw that right in front of Michigan's bench. Padinho laid out a Seawolves attacker there trying to clear the ball. So Padinho does like to lay out her fellow defenseman, but it's causing a lot of fouls and a lot of free position shots there. So we have just about 8 minutes left of halftime thus far. And the next Michigan men's lacrosse game, which we will cover here on WCBN FM 88.3 FM Ann Arbor, will be on our YouTube channel, WCBN Sports. And it will be against the Michigan Wolverines will be playing Air Force this Friday, March 9th at 7 o'clock. So check in for that one. The Wolverines doing a great job this year, being much more competitive in Kevin Connery's first year at the helm. Recently played Yale and Penn very closely, closer than they've played a top 10 team in a very long time in Yale's case. So this is a very improved Michigan men's team, and something that we haven't said really ever in the 7-year history of Michigan men's lacrosse is this team is competitive. We looked last year, the Big Ten team with the additions of Johns Hopkins, I think pretty unquestionably the best conference in college lacrosse. And Michigan didn't win a game, didn't really come close, being kind. This year they have a chance, Maryland, Johns Hopkins, and and Penn State look really tough this year. But Rutgers and Ohio State's having a down year this year, so Michigan has a chance to be competitive with them and be questionably fourth best team, maybe even the third best team in the conference if they keep improving there with that top two of Brett Noseworthy and Alex Bucknavage. So with 7 minutes left in the halftime, Stony Brook leading Michigan 10-2. Let's talk a little Michigan basketball now. I myself just came back from New York after a couple of days of watching the Michigan Wolverines. I don't want to say dominate, but we dominated New York there for the men's basketball Big Ten tournament. And Alex, what did you see in that tournament that led to the Wolverines winning the championship yesterday?
I mean, it was a complete showing in 3 of the 4 games against Iowa. Maybe a bit lackadaisical, but it starts on the defensive end. This is the best defensive team of John Beilein's career, unquestionably, and that really allows Michigan to do a lot of special things, and it allows them to hold themselves in games, even when the shots aren't falling. That first half against Michigan State, they were really unable to make the shots they needed to win that game in the first half. They did come in the second, but their defense was what was able to keep them in that game entirely, even when the shots aren't always going. But against Purdue, they were running really great offense. Against Nebraska, they were running great offense. So it's a complete team, but it starts on the defensive end.
And a great output there from Mo Wagner and Muhammad Ali Abdur-Rahman there. And even John Teskey getting in to have a little fun yesterday with 12 first half points. And an emphatic dunk on Isaac Haas. I think it's fair to say that was the pinnacle of Michigan basketball this year, that dunk on Haas, that 7-footer on 7-footer action there. Best moment in Michigan basketball history this year, at least. And
it was the clincher too.
It was. It really kind of took the life out of Purdue in that early second half. So a great win from Michigan, and the potential to, just like last year, create a little momentum going to the tournament. And it's going to be hard with this long, potentially 10, 12-day layoff that they have, but it's still a great stepping stone. And I guess losing to Northwestern about 3/4 through the Big Ten slate is just the key to winning everything.
Yeah, well, it happened last year too. They went on a bit of a run after they lost to Northwestern on that crazy buzzer beater a year ago. But I think we should also point out Xavier Simpson. He's not a shooter at all, but the offense really does flow through him. And it was his dribble drive penetration that allowed that Teskey dunk to happen. And he's such just not a bit John Beeline player at all, and he's a defensive first guy, but his ability to find the good passes. He had a few really good wraparound passes to Mo Wagner inside. He is a crucial part of the offense, even if he's not a shooter.
Seems like there's a lot of guys on Michigan's team who aren't necessarily scoring really dominant players. We really don't have a Derek Walton on this team who can really take over at the end of games, but it's more of every player has their role, and I think Charles Matthews is the closest thing we have to that scoring dominant player. But, I don't know if that's a good thing necessarily if you're a Michigan basketball fan, but every player on this team has their role. And, at times Mar has taken control of the offense and has done some great things there. And as Michigan has run the ball through, run their offense through Mar, this team has been its best offensively. But this is a very good Michigan team when every player is playing within themselves, and you have guys like Duncan Robinson and Isaiah Livers and even Jordan Poole playing solid defense and not hunting for their shots, but just taking good, consistent shots and running within the offense. And that's what John Beeline's offense is. Every player playing unselfishly and getting good looks.
Well, and it's really telling that they were able to win the Big Ten tournament, even though Jordan Poole, who had really been one of their best sixth men, was basically invisible the entire tournament. His shooting stroke just vanished, and yet, despite that, they were able to just breeze by some teams and beat down. It was just really impressive and a total performance. And the big thing about winning that tournament is it's the difference between being a 3 and a 4, which is what they'll probably be, versus a 5 and a 6. And with that layoff, the difference in a 13 or a 14 seed versus an 11 or a 12, where there are classic pitfall matchups. That'll be big just to help avoid that drop off.
100% right. And just coming to the end of this halftime now, where do you see them falling, Alex? You thinking more of a 3-4 now?
It's a 3 or a 4, I think. But I start to lean 3, but I don't know.
It's the Big Ten is not good this year. I think it's going to be 4 or 5. I don't think we have much of a chance of a 3 because of just how bad the Big Ten is this year.
Well, and so RPI has lagged behind KenPom for much of the season for Michigan, but it's really, they've started to converge a little bit because Michigan's RPI now up to 13, which really puts them in that interesting range. And they've actually now started to rack up 6, maybe 7, maybe 8, depending on how things go in the final weekend, quadrant 1 wins. So that's a boost too. I mean, this weekend did wonders for all of those factors. I mean, they were in the 20s in RPI entering the tournament. So I don't know. We'll see. But at the same time, if you're a 3 and Duke's your 2 versus a 4 and Xavier's your 1 and Cincy's your 2, you'll take the 4 every day. I mean, it comes down to matchups.
Of course. And I think every Michigan fan would rather play Duke this year than a guy like Xavier. Xavier's tough. Cincy's tough too. I mean, Cincy hasn't gotten any credit this year. But just coming off a big win against Wichita State in the American finale, Cincinnati's a good team, and they're very underrated. No one talks about them. That's a top 10 team that's going to be very good in the tournament and a tough out. Coming to the end of halftime now, give you a little bit of an update on the women's lacrosse team. Both teams are out now. 10-2 is the score. The number 1 team in the country, Stony Brook, is leading the Michigan Wolverines and have dominated for much of this game. With 2 minutes gone in the first half, I'd say Michigan was leading 2-1, and we weren't on the air just yet. But we were both thinking, I think, Michigan might have a shot in this game. 2 quick goals, and maybe, just maybe, they could contend with the number 1 team in the country here. And, they haven't scored since. They haven't really had, I think they've had really 2 or 3 more opportunities that we can say they really had a shot to score. And, some of these other shots have just been kind of end of the shot clock. We have to get something off, and not really, great finds that Stony Brook's had in bulk now. And I'd say a good 17 or 18 of their 23 shots have been bona fide. This could go in, and they're winding up and they're taking hard wristers here. But I'm I'm going to be interested to see if Michigan's offense and Nielsen's new offense, if the Wolverines can get Padino coming off a couple of these dodges and potentially getting a couple of open shots for the Michigan star player. And if they can't, then if they can run something else to maybe get Kirby, maybe get Grass or Kane involved and try to do something to limit this Stony Brook defense or this Stony Brook offense who just dominated them all day. And Stony Brook, surprise, surprise, gets another win off the draw here. That'll be their 10th of the game. And now coming back in the offensive zone will be Stony Brook, passing it around the arc now and behind the cage. Looking for someone, passes it right across the X and loses it, but they will retain possession. Pass it to the right side. A great job there by number 19, Meladonia. And that's going to be Michigan ball off a push from Stony Brook. So a great first defensive possession there from Michigan. Almost giving up a wide open shot there, but a good job with stick position to limit any real shot and causing a turnover.
Well, now it's time to get the offense going and try to show that the way things were going in that end of the first half is different than what will be going on here. So see how they run this breakout and get up the field.
And Shane has now been carrying the ball as from the goal for almost 30 seconds, trying to find someone to pass it to. And this is amazing Stony Brook defense. I don't know if I've ever seen this, as Shane, almost going on 40 seconds now, cannot find anybody to pass it to and will pass it all the way down the field.
Oh, a Hail Mary.
And, oh, that's going to be a foul there. No. Yeah, they're going to call a foul there as there was a little bit of a trip there on Meladonia, but that was fantastic defense from the Seawolves, just stifling Michigan's almost defensive side from getting the ball there, and Padino having to run all the way down to try to get it, couldn't get it, and a pass all the way across the field, which was knocked down by a Seawolves player. But Michigan with 20 seconds left on the shot clock, and let's see if they could set anything up with this little time left, and Kirby will take it all the way at the top, now passing it to Padino. Padino dodging inside, dodging left and right with a quick opportunity. The best shot of the game thus far from Padino goes right at the cage, but a fantastic shot there. And the Wolverines will get it again. That did not count as a shot on goal, so there's still going to be 9 seconds left on the clock. But with 2 minutes left in this second half, 2 minutes gone in this second half, Michigan doing the best job they've had of getting any offense. And I believe this might be the first free possession opportunity the Wolverines have had all day, and will be the Wolverines' best player in Padino now. Waiting for placement from the ref.
You know, and the crazy thing about this is if I didn't know better, you'd almost think that there are more Seawolves players on the field than there are. I mean, they're swarming.
Their defense has been that good. Inside from Padino and straight in to the mesh of the goalkeeper for the Seawolves, and that was a failed free possession opportunity for the Wolverines. And if they want to get back in this game, which looks very unlikely at this point, they're going to have to come up with some of those. And now no one stops the ball here for the Seawolves, so they're going to run straight into the offensive possession and set up their offense. Passing it behind the cage now, doing a little more in this half of setting it up behind the cage. A quick dodge inside. Oof. And that is amazing footwork there. Looks like that was number 21, Tareen Olimer. And actually, they're going to call that goal off. They're going to call a push off from the Wolverines. The Wolverines having a lucky break there with their 23rd foul of the game. I don't know if you can call that luck, but a free possession opportunity, and that shot goes wide. Almost finds its way out of the Lacrosse Stadium, but will hit the mesh, and it'll be Seawolves ball. 27-17 left in this game.
Well, and even if Michigan can't get back into the game, if they can play a much cleaner second half and can keep this deficit about where it is, that'll be something to build on.
Pass inside from the Seawolves from behind the cage, behind the back goal for the Seawolves. Those are the most impressive goals you can ever see in lacrosse. Quick catch from behind the cage, quick right around the shoulder. And that's going to make it 2-11 now for the Seawolves. And it looks like they're trying to push this to 10 so we can have a little bit of a running clock here. And just the Michigan defense, I don't know what it is. I don't know if they haven't practiced this, although it seems like this is something you practice day one. When that ball's going behind the cage, they are not keeping their heads towards their man, and they're very much struggling to find their defender and who they're covering. And this man defense is not working for Nielsen's squad thus far.
Well, and so Stony Brook is now getting into a position where they can potentially score the most goals they've scored all season. 16 against Denver was their high, and they're at 11 with quite a bit of time remaining. So it'll be interesting to see.
And the one piece of solace that maybe Michigan fans can see now is that Denver was the 20th ranked team in the country. Stony Brook beat them 16-3. Michigan not ranked right now, but is losing 11-2. So maybe they're similar right now. So maybe Michigan's a little bit similar to the number 20 team in the country. I guess you can see that as a bit of a solace. A great save there by Shane. Another draw win by the Seawolves. Surprise, surprise. And the Wolverines will now take possession there off of a fantastic save by Shane. Shane has given up 11 goals, which is not something you never want to see, but does have 8 saves. So a solid day by her nonetheless. And I know
it could be a lot worse than it is.
She's done a good job with what she's had today, and the defense from Michigan has been terrible. It's not been good. And you were talking about earlier how you think the Seawolves have an extra player on defense. Well, it seems like the Wolverines are down a player on defense, and a quick shot there by the Wolverines, and that's going to bounce in front of the cage and not hit the goalie at all. So it's going to be a wonder to see if that even counts for a shot on goal, but it's going to be Seawolves ball.
Well, when Michigan is attacking, it feels like the free kick in soccer where they can make the wall. I mean, Stony Brook just defends the net. They're all right there, and then with Michigan, the defense just gets spread out. And there's just way too easy penetration and way too just simple passing lanes.
Well, I've just been surprised that Stony Brook's look to work the ball behind the cage and use that as a little bit of a quarterback position there and work on cuts right in front of the crease. But every time they do that, it seems like they get a wide open shot. So I'm a little bit curious why they aren't doing that a little bit more. But with the score being 11-2, I guess they don't have to try to attack very much now. But a quick pick behind the cage and a great job by number 25, Casey Cumo, coming up and checking the Stony Brook defender. Looks like that was Murphy, and a great job there, and immediately loses it from the Wolverines. That's going to be another failed clear there, and it's going to be Seawolves ball as Pedinho getting a little aggressive again with the stick check there, hitting the Seawolves player across the chest. That's a no-no. Lucky she didn't get anybody in the head, which would have been a 2-minute penalty. So it's going to stay Stony Brook ball now. And a quick dump off behind the cage. A 2-man action behind there. Reminiscent of the Paul Rabel, Mike Chanichuk days with the New York Lizards. Something they really mastered behind there. Almost, for a basketball reference, pick and roll behind the cage. Just a little bit of a running there, trying to use that peg behind the cage that holds the goal up as almost another defender there and trying to get your defender to trip off of it. And it's going to be another free possession opportunity for the Seawolves. There's another quick foul there from the Wolverines. They're 25th of the day. And they have 10 shots, 25 fouls. So that about sums up the Wolverines' day. A quick run in from the Seawolves. A push off of the Wolverines, but it doesn't matter as that ball will find the back of the net. And that'll make it a 10-goal lead for the Seawolves. 24:53 left in the second half. 12-2 now. The Seawolves lead.
Well, it just not a whole lot going right, and it's indicative of the day that you're having when your best defense seems to be to just repeatedly foul. That's been the strategy Michigan has had, and it's just not working. But at the same time, it's a young team, it's a young program, and there's no shame in playing really good teams. And it's a model for what the program hopes to become, and it gives them experience in playing against the best. So there's nothing wrong with putting a team like Stony Brook on the schedule.
It's definitely been a learning experience for the Wolverines. This is the 4th top 25 team that the Wolverines have faced. And I'm not going to say that this is already a loss for the Wolverines, but with 24 minutes left on a running clock now, 12-2, Stony Brook leads. It's looking more and more like one will be coming, and it will be their 4th loss against those teams. First game of the season came against the number 17 ranked Colorado. It wasn't played in Colorado. It was played in Jacksonville, Florida, which I think we'd all like to be right now. And they lost that game 20-10. So really defense struggling and the offense struggling to create possessions, but still 10 goals scored against a top 20 team is something to be proud of. And then against Navy, coming very close against the number 10 team in the country, losing 11-10 last week, and then playing Towson, the then number 10 team as well, and losing 14-7. So just really defense being the biggest problem here, and offense not being able to create enough going against these elite teams defensively. So Padino's got to do a better job manning this offense, and a quick pass inside from Stony Brook, quick shot. That's going to go just left of the cage, and that's going to be off target there. But a Stony Brook player was first to the out of bounds line, meaning they will retain possession. And 23 minutes left now on this running clock. This game's going to go a little bit faster now that there's a 10-goal lead. And yeah, looks like a double team behind the cage there from Michigan, and essentially tabletops the Stony Brook attacker, and that's going to be a foul every time.
Textbook stuff.
Yeah. But a great play there by the Wolverines, knocking the ball, pickpocketing the pass there, and it's going to go out of bounds into the snow-covered bushes to the left of the field, and it's going to be Stony Brook ball, as they're going to say. It went off the stick of a Wolverine defender, an unlucky break there, but a fantastic job there defensively. And let's see. Still a running clock here, but the referees are conferring now. And they're going to stop the clock at 22-14. And I think you do have to be encouraged by what we've seen from Shane today. A younger player, Maria Shane, is only a junior, so she still has another year left. And she's done a good job saving almost half. She's at essentially a 43% save percentage thus far. So she's done a good job of saving essentially half the shots taken at her. And a lot of those shots have been wide open right in front of the goal.
A lot of high percentage looks for the Seawolves.
Yes, to say the least. And one-on-one, it's really hard to miss, especially in lacrosse, with a bigger goal. And this isn't indoor lacrosse where you have the big pads and almost bigger pads than football. This is outdoor lacrosse. You don't have much padding at all. So a lot of open space in those goals. So when you're going one-on-one, it's not easy. As I shouldn't say it's easy, because we probably couldn't do it. But for these players who played their whole lives, it's pretty easy going one-on-one. And now a pick coming off the right side, as Stony Brook will get the ball with 22 minutes left. Passes it up top. They're being very all day, picking their spots and trying to get open shots now. Looks like the second team offense in now for Stony Brook. Murphy's day is almost assuredly done thus far, as she did injure her knee earlier this year, caused her to miss half of a game earlier, and hopefully she won't have to come back into this game and risk further injury. Quick pass inside. And again, it almost looks like batting practice for the Seawolves. A quick pass, little toss inside right in front of the cage, and just almost taps it in for the Seawolves, and that's going to make it 13-2 now.
Another good find, and just really nothing that Shane can do there.
Not good defense. From behind the cage, you have to stay with whoever your man is, keep them without a clear path to the cage. And Michigan's just getting lost off these screens now and not being able to find their man. And with 21 minutes left, this resulted in an 11-point deficit. After that last foul almost a minute ago, Michigan is now up to 26. So let's see if they can get to 30. Weird counter to have today, but the one for Michigan will have nonetheless. As after the beginning of the first half, Stony Brook has just dominated the draw, as this will be potentially Michigan's first win of the half. And yes, it will go to the Wolverines, as it will be offsides on Stony Brook. And that'll be, if they can clear it, the first Michigan win of the half and their fifth win overall to Stony Brook's 12. And it will be, as Maggie Kane will take it across into the offensive zone and pass to Lily Grass. Lily Grass will run behind the cage, dodge to her right, passes to Padino. Padino getting the play from her coach on the on the sideline, being very methodical. 70 seconds left on the shot clock. Just under 20 minutes left in this half. Padinho running the offense from the left-hand side. Quick dodge to her right. Pass to Chandler inside. Chandler gets inside a shot that'll bounce off, and a Michigan player fast to the out-of-bounds line will keep possession. And now it'll be Maggie Kane again. Running to her right. Passing it around the arc now are the Wolverines. Hit in the face there is Kirby from a Seawolves defender. And that's going to be a foul there. Hit to the face is never allowed almost in any sport. And that's going to be a 2-minute penalty for number 20, Tiffany Zulo, a senior out of, Ronkonkoma, New York. Interesting city there, but it's going to be 2 minutes up for the Wolverines. Let's see if they can do it. And as we talked about before, it seems like Stony Brook's always up a defender, so now it should be an even playing field. So let's see if the Wolverines can get something going here with 19 minutes left. Dodge inside by Kane is hit there, so she's going to get a free possession here. 18:55 left. Stony Brook leads 13-2. You're listening to WCBN FM Ann Arbor, 88.3. I'm Alex Kramer alongside Alex Strain. Maggie Kane with the free possession here. Passes it behind the cage. Inside and misses the mark there. And number 23, Molly Garrett's going to pick it up with ease and get the ball back into possession here for the Wolverines. 1 minute, 10 seconds left on the penalty. Man up. And the Wolverines throw it away. And it's going to be an easy corral there by Tesorio. And she's been amazing today, only giving up 2 goals, has 6 saves. One of the best goalkeepers in the country, and she's shown up today. Stony Brook gets it into their offensive half. And with 45 seconds left on the penalty for the man up for Wolverines, it looks like they're going to be able to kill it off now. Wolverines not able to do anything with their one chance that they've had for man-up opportunities. And now they do get possession of the ball with 30 seconds left. So let's see if they can do something here. Passing it back.
Once again, that swarming defense. 3 players converge to shut off the rush.
And Michigan getting into the offensive half. 15 seconds left on the penalty. Maggie with a quick dodge. Inside, Maggie Kane running up. 10 seconds left on the penalty. Let's see if they try to rush something. Get a quick shot. Padinho to the left. As Emma Shate now will run in on the defensive end, and Stony Brook successfully killed off that penalty. 17-10 left in this second half. And now I'll cut it to the inside. And a pass. Dangerous pass over the top. And a dodge inside by Kirby. Back to Kane. Passing around the arc of the Wolverines with 30 seconds left on the shot clock. No one being the aggressor now for the Wolverines. No one's dodging inside, but Padinho will have it. Kirby on the right side passes it behind the cage. Looking for anything inside, but it's just a swarm of Seawolf defenders and passes it straight into one. Does Hanlon, and that's going to be a turnover for the Wolverines. They're 13th of the day. And when you have 11 more turnovers than goals, you know it's not a very good day. So Wolverines have definitely struggled today. And now the Seawolves clear it with ease, get into their offensive zone. Wolverines do a good job of stopping the ball and preventing a quick shot on goal. 16 minutes left. And a quick dodge inside. To the right and behind the cage now are the Seawolves. Again, looking up front and a wide open player right up front. A quick shot there, a quick goal from the Seawolves, and she slams her stick down, and that's going to make it 14-2. And just fantastic offense here by the Seawolves. You're not going to see better execution here from behind the cage. And amazing cuts, backdoor cuts from on these screens that the Seawolves are setting, just wide open there. And a great goal there from the Seawolves to make it 14-2.
Well, it just an impressive show from Stony Brook in this game. And Michigan has just been largely overmatched throughout this one, but we've still got about 15 minutes remaining, so Michigan has to keep grinding, and if they can get a goal here in the last 15 minutes, I think there'll be something positive to take out of this game.
Maytar taking face-offs now for the Wolverines. Goes up, and the Wolverines will win this one after a penalty there. And the infraction on the draw there. So another win for the Wolverines, 2 in a row now. Make it 6 wins for them against the 12 from Stony Brook. 14:30 left as the Wolverines will pass it around the arc. Looks like they're almost killing clock now, too. Just waiting to get this one over with. Grass will take it around the cage. Run to the right side. Passes it to Padino on the left. Just working it all around the field now. Quick dodge to the left. And back behind the cage with Grass. Grass looks to find someone in front of it, but cannot. Back to Kirby up top. And then to the left side, a quick dodge inside. Ooh. And a fantastic play by Nadine Stewart, splitting 2 defenders and going top right corner for that goal for the Wolverines.
Well, that's the goal I was talking about.
Looks like they're going to call that off. Oof. They're going to call an offensive penalty there on Stewart. Fantastic play there to split 2 defenders, but looks like she stepped into the crease there. Can't do that, and that's going to be a foul, and it's going to remain 14-2 with 13:20 left in this game. It's a tough break for the Wolverines, looking to find their first goal of the half and in really the last 30 minutes. Stony Brook methodically playing around the arc now, get it inside, back behind the cage, back up top. One-on-one action now, and back behind the cage. Quick pass to the right, quick dodge inside, and they're going to call a push off of Aaron Daly there, and it's going to be free possession opportunity, the 9th now for Stony Brook. They've gone 4 of 8 thus far. And a quick shot inside. And another goal from Stony Brook. 15-2 now. Off those free possession opportunities, they now have 5 goals of their 14. So Michigan is very much struggling now after that 2-point swing after they missed, their shot was called back. And with 22:20 left in this game, Michigan is very much struggling just to stop the bleeding at this point.
Well, once again, just the same things over and over again. It's been behind the cage and then off the fouls, just straight in on net. And again, once again, high percentage looks and easy goals.
Not very encouraging to see the second team of Stony Brook essentially running train on the Wolverines, same as the first team did. So Stony Brook, an elite team, and showing it right now. And Tar is at the draw again for the Wolverines. Whistle goes up, and 2 Wolverines crash into each other. And both of them are down right now. They get up, but the Stony Brook will get it with a man up now on defense, passing around, and they're going to take, and a bad pass there. I almost preemptively said they were going to take advantage of that.
They had the whole play set up well.
And they pick up the ground ball. They've been fantastic on ground balls today, locating the ball and using their stick to pick it up. But that was a violent collision there, right at the X, right at the M on this stadium. And that's going to be a foul on Handlin. She's going to go to the sideline. That's going to be 2 minutes for her. I think that's going to be a slashing call as well. And the difference between Stony Brook and Michigan today has been movement on offense. Michigan has not had an identity on offense and has not done a good job moving and cutting off a screen to try to get open possessions, especially behind the cage when they're looking for people in front of the crease. And thus far, Stony Brook's done a fantastic job of that, especially behind the cage, just looking and having a lot of back cuts there to get wide open. Hasn't done a lot with dodges, but has been effective there. And just when I said it, but a fantastic save by Shane. Just when I said it, behind the cage, a quick back screen and a back cut to get a wide open play in front of the goal. But Shane makes a fantastic save there. And the Wolverines get a second life here, but Stony Brook will retain possession now. Right behind the cage now are the Stony Brook Seawolves. A pass right in front of the crease and a 16th goal. Why not? 16-2 now. Stony Brook leads Michigan. And another fantastic play there from Stony Brook. Easy shots make easy goals. And Stony Brook is just punishing Michigan now.
Well, they have now tied their most goals scored this season with 16 and about 10 minutes remaining in this one, 10:05 to be exact. It's getting near the end.
And this is a team that looks deep, looks dominant, and looks like it can make a run in the NCAA tournament that's really been dominated by the Maryland Terrapins over the past couple of years. But this is a Stony Brook team led by Murphy and the Ulmer twins, who look like they could really do some damage late in May. Back up to the draw is Tar with under 10 minutes left in this game. Stony Brook leads 16-2. You're listening to 88.3 WCBN FM Ann Arbor. And Stony Brook corrals that one with ease and clears it with ease as well. That'll be the senior Sammy DeSalvo. And the first team getting back on here and getting some reps now.
Well, Stony Brook did make it to the quarterfinals of the Division I championship and lost by just one goal to Maryland a year ago. So they're experienced, and they're deep, and they're a model for Michigan's program at this point.
Fantastic set of offense by there. A quick dodge to the right, a pass inside. They're going to pass. A second pass is one too many, and that's going to be a turnover from Stony Brook. And that's going to be their 7th of the game. Not many turnovers there by Stony Brook. And Michigan will get a chance to work in their offensive possession now. Going to be Grass behind the cage. Passing it again to Padino on that left side that she loves so much. Lazy pass there to number 2. Catherine Granito getting some run with the first team now. And Michigan has all but given up on this game, just looking to get some experience for the youngsters at this point. Badino running to her right, has it stripped there from Stony Brook, and a fantastic defensive possession there, not even touching Badino at all, just hitting her stick, and that's textbook defense right there. Badino trying to keep her stick close to her body and has it just swatted away from her. Stony Brook clears it with ease, passes it to the right behind the cage. Looking inside, a late pass there from Stony Brook, but their ball still on the ground. Michigan had an easy shot to get possession of it, but loses it, and Stony Brook will come up with it. And ground balls are really a struggle for the Wolverines, as they've struggled to come up with them all day. It's going to be another... Looks like it's going to be a turnover from Stony Brook. It looks like someone stepped in the crease there, and it's going to become Wolverines' possession now. A little over 7 minutes left in this game right now, as Stony Brook has completely dominated since really 2 minutes were gone in the first half. And it's 16-2 now, 33 shots for the Seawolves and only 11 for the Wolverines. So the Wolverines have very much struggled today to create any offense against this stifling defense of Stony Brook.
Well, Michigan now in the offensive zone. Once again, would like to see at least one goal here in these final 7 minutes. They can convert something and just get a little bit of a positive momentum going as they continue on into the season.
Chandler Kirby taking a more aggressive role with the team thus far. Didn't start out on the starting unit for the Wolverines, but has taken a much bigger step over the past 3 games and has really cemented that spot in the starting attacking unit. And Harry Padino have really become the centerpieces of this offense, and now Granito loses it behind the cage, but will retain possession with a little over 6 left. Passes to Grass behind the cage. A lot of lazy passes from the Wolverines that require jumping or a little bit too much cradling. But Padino gets it up top. Dodge to her left. Nothing working on this Stony Brook defense. Quick dodge to the right from Chandler Kirby. A great shot inside. Gets hit by a Seawolf, and that's going to get a free possession opportunity for Chandler Kirby and the Wolverines. Great dodge to her left, inside swim move there, and that's going to be a great possession for the Wolverines, and a lazy shot there off the ground, off the free possession, and a lazy pass there, and that's going to go right into the stick of number 30 for the Wolverines, and they're going to take it back out and slow it down. It's going to be Grace Hemmer with the steal there. And with 5:20 left in this game, Wolverines are looking to get something going. Behind the cage, a screen from Grass. Grass taking it on the right side. Passes to Padino inside. Padino chooses not to dodge left and actually passes it off. And Hemmer was not ready for that pass and throws it out of bounds. She was not ready for that pass, got a little flustered in there, and just threw it behind the cage where no one was waiting for it. So with 4:48 left, the Stony Brook Seawolves will take control of the ball. And hopefully Michigan will get at least one more opportunity on offense and maybe do something with it. They really haven't had more than 3 opportunities thus far in this half to score a goal. Dodge to the right for Stony Brook. Back to the left. Great play there. It's going to be by number 25, Casey Kumo, who immediately loses the ball after a great steal there. Keeps possession of it and runs backwards now and doesn't clear it, though. And some lazy passing here from the Wolverines. Hanlon has it now. And changes side, passes to Richardson, though. Passes to Daly up front, and they're going to eventually clear it. Great job there getting it past the offensive zone for the Wolverines. Kirby will run into the attacking position as Daly will run back to the midfield spot. And a lazy pass there from Padino will hit the deck and roll out of bounds. And that's going to be a turnover for the Wolverines. They're 17th of the day.
Just not the precision that Michigan need today to compete with Stony Brook. Not the amount of execution on either end.
Stony Brook running up. Good job by Michigan. Michigan has done a solid job of stopping the ball every time coming up the field. The one positive, all goals and no quick transition goals thus far. That's going to be looks like a timeout there from the Wolverines.
3:07 remaining.
Actually, they're not going to call a timeout now. They're just going to... Looks like they had a little bit of either an injury or... I'm not really sure what happened there. They stopped the clock for a couple seconds. 3 minutes left in the second half in the game. Running clock, 16-2, Stony Brook leads. Crisp passing from Stony Brook as the ball hits the deck as soon as I say that. And the Seawolves passing it around have no real intention to rush at all here. Pass inside and a fantastic wraparound goal. And the Seabrooks player looks confused, and that's because that play is coming back, and it's not going to count. That's going to be a foul on the Seawolves. I think there was an illegal use of the stick there by one of her fellow players, but a fantastic attempt there from the Seawolves behind the back. Not even around the shoulders, which is what you usually see from behind the back. I want her behind the legs, and that takes an impressive cradling skill and a very high level of skill needed for that shot. A great job. Now Richardson will bring the ball past the halfway line, and Michigan clears it with ease, something we haven't seen today. The Wolverines will have 1 or 2 last possessions here. Chandler Kirby with a great shot, a great opportunity there for the Wolverines, something we haven't seen much of today from behind the cage. A great job there by Kirby to get a wide open shot, but it goes wide right. And 70 seconds left on the shot clock, 1:50 left in the game. And the Wolverines are being very methodical, and they have to be against this defense. It's been very stifling today. And that's going to be a goal for the Wolverines. That's going to be Caitlin Murr off the feed from Padinho. And a pass inside, something we haven't seen much of today, but a fantastic shot. And the ref will look at the stick of Murr and check it to make sure it fits regulation. It does, and that goal is going to count. 16-3, the first goal since about the 2-minute mark gone in the first half. So Michigan finally gets something going, and a long cold streak from that offense, but finally something goes right for them.
Well, that was the goal they needed, and it comes late in this contest, and as long as they can finish out the rest of this game, I think they'll be able to at least say they played a better second half and just take that moving forward.
And with 55 seconds left now, as the running clock will still go because it is 16-3. The scoreboard here at the Lacrosse Stadium had a little bit of an error there. And Tara will still be taking faceoffs here. She's had a little bit of success. And the Seawolves will not win that one. They had a stick on that. But after a shove there, the Wolverines will get it and throw it away immediately. And now the Seawolves have it, and it's on the ground still. And the Seawolves will control it, but lose it again. And that's going to be a shove from Michigan. There's about 20 seconds left in this game. This one's all but over. As the Seawolf players on the ground got hit pretty hard. She's limping, but she'll pick up the ball. And the whistle will be blown. Thrown across. That's a clear there successfully. 14 seconds left now. Shot clock is off. This game's all but through. Another turnover there. It's going to help for moral victories there from the Wolverines. And let's see if they can get one more successful clear with 2 seconds left. And they will. And that's going to be the end of regulation now. 16-3 is the final score here at the Michigan Stadium. Stony Brook leads. Stony Brook wins. Easy win for the number one team in the country. Wasn't really challenged after the 28-minute mark in the first half. Alex, what did you see from the Michigan defense that just struggled to stop this offense?
Well, once again, it was just an inability to stop penetration from Stony Brook, and especially just cuts towards the cage. And it was the same play, really, all game long, going behind and then just looking for passing lanes out in front. And Michigan was routinely late to them. Why there were so many fouls really inside was just they were tardy getting there and forced to foul on a lot of these plays. And
young coach for the Wolverines and Hannah Nielsen, really, this Wolverine teams looks really undisciplined at this point. Something we've seen in a lot of games in the Canisius game and early on in the Colorado game and Jacksonville game, first two games of the season. Both games, the Wolverines struggled with penalties and almost had 30 in this game, coming up short with 29. But all of those games were plus 20 in fouls, and this is just fairly an undisciplined team at this point that's really struggled to keep their sticks to themselves and not check. And that's something that they're going to have to do if they want to become more competitive. And the young coach in Nielsen, who has a lot of experience playing on attack for Northwestern, this is her first head coaching job. So really, maybe she doesn't have a lot of experience in coaching that up. Hopefully that comes along in the next couple of years, as it almost looks like here at the Lacrosse Stadium, Stony Brook has a couple more fans than the Wolverines, as most of the Wolverine fans have filed out at this point after this beatdown, and shots were fairly uneven. Stony Brook had 26, Michigan had 10, and that's a testament to the lack of offense and the lack of movement that the Wolverines had. Chandler Kirby did a great job in this game of cutting and finding players, but other than her and Padinho, no one was really moving and no one was really creating on offense. And unless you have elite players like Murphy and the Ulmer twins, you're not going to be able to create on your own. So the offense struggled for the Wolverines, and defensively, not enough job of playing this man defense that Nielsen's ran all season. They haven't switched to a zone at all. So this is the man defense they're going to run for, I'm assuming, the majority of this year. And they really have struggled to find their man when the ball is behind the cage. And that's something you have to do. And if you're going to play one-on-one, you got to play one-on-one successfully.
Well, and it was that lack of movement that allowed Stony Brook to just lock down defensively and create very, very few passing lanes, very few shooting lanes. Michigan just had nothing going on. And all around an impressive performance from Stony Brook. They lived up to the #1 ranking, I think it's fair to say, here today. And again, Michigan's got a long way to go, but they've still got the better part of their schedule upcoming. A lot of games still to come this season, so they have to shake it off and take the things that were good there in the second half and start to march forward.
And only one more game before the non-conference slate will begin. They will play Central Michigan on the 11th of March next week. They will play at Central Michigan. And then on the 17th, they will come back to Ann Arbor and face Ohio State in the grudge match. And hopefully they can get a win there and press that team. They are not ranked at this point, but a solid team from Columbus will travel here. And that's their first real test in the Big Ten. And after that, their next Big Ten game comes against Northwestern and then Maryland. Maryland, the defending national champion, so that will be a tough game nonetheless. And this is really one of the best teams that Michigan will face all year. There was some positives. If you look at ground balls, Michigan did win. Michigan only lost by 16 or 215. So it's not as bad as it seems. And you wish the ball wouldn't be on the ground that much at all. But still a solid job by the Wolverines coming up with 15 ground balls against a team that's really good at finding the ball and looking it into their stick like we've seen. But if you're going to have that many turnovers, and they had 18, and only 8 of those turnovers were caused, you're not going to win the game. I don't care if you're playing the #1 team in Stony Brook or you're playing Kalamazoo Community College. You're not going to win that game. You can't have 10 unforced turnovers, and that's a lack of focus. And we saw it from the captain in Padilla, and we saw it down to the freshman Daly, who was playing a lot of minutes in this game. So Michigan has to do a better job of being focused and doing a better job of making crisp passes, and they can be a contender in this Big Ten in the years to come.
Yep, it's still a building project for a young and new program, but overall they have, like you said, a few things to take out of this, and that Ohio State game, I think, will be a much better measuring stick for Michigan than perhaps this is, because the only teams that can really measure themselves with the #1 are teams that are looking to contend, and that's just not where Michigan is in terms of their program development. So this was more of a game to see where they have to go. Ohio State, I think, will be a better test to see what they can actually do this year.
100% right. Shane for the Wolverines in goal was another one of those bright spots. You look at the final score and you see 16 goals. Shane was the only one in goal, so it can't be a great game if you're seeing that. But she did have 10 saves, so that's got to be an upside for the Wolverines. And if that defense can improve a little bit, you got a nice little building block there for next year. So a solid goalkeeping day from the Wolverines. And if you're looking on the other side, just a fantastic day in goal from Tesorillo. 7 saves, only 2 goals given up. That's a 78 save percentage, and you're not going to see a better game really out there in lacrosse ever. So a fantastic game from the Ulmer twins. Number 21, Tarian, who's both of them are Tewaaraton finalists, but Tarian had 5 assists along with 2 goals. So a 7-point game for her. Murphy had 3 goals along with 2 assists, so 5 for her, and then a 6-point game for the other Ulmer twin in Kylie, who had 4 goals and 2 assists. So a fantastic game from the 3 stars for Stony Brook, and I think it's pretty evident why they're #1 and they're deserving of that ranking. So that's about going to do it for us from the Lacrosse Stadium. Michigan falls to 2-5 as Stony Brook wins this game 16-3 and will come to 5-0 on the season. The next game you'll hear from us will be on March 17th against Ohio State. We'll be back here on WCBN.org. This has been WCBN FM Ann Arbor 88.3. I'm Alex Kramer along with Alex Drain. I'll leave you with a good night and go blue.